volatility is coming back into the crypto market. We just saw meme coins running huge and slowly correcting back. The volatility is here. You can see the volume coming in and the price breaking through. That's a 3-day chart. When you zoom in, you do see there is a huge movement of money. If you remember, we talked about this scenario where you see small caps moving. So the movement of money is happening in the meme coins, in the small caps. And if you look at what we talked about in the last couple of videos, you see this different cycles, and this is where we are. So by the time the cycle ends, I'm not saying you're going to match these, but you are still going to reach that correlation where you are going to reach here, right? The time consumed is higher, but you still have one more wave here for Bitcoin. And in the altcoins, you have a lot of room because it's upside. So you need to literally do 2 waves, and that's what is being open here. But different assets will show you different upside. They show you different accumulation range and how they are breaking higher right now. Let it be XRP, let it be Ether, let it be the entire market. It does show you huge opportunity. So what we are going to do in this video is try and analyze these and get to a picture where you understand, okay, this is what's happening right now, and this is the opportunity which I'm watching in the market. This is the scientific investor family, where the normal, common retail guys learn how to become the next top 10% of the world. We do see money coming back into the market. We see a lot of volatility happening through different coins. Some of those mainly are meme coins, and that's interesting. And then you do see other projects. They are slowly grinding higher. Some of them are breaking higher. That's actually a key level to actually observe. Some of these are really getting attention in terms of the volume. If you remember, we talked about these, and the volume is now surging compared to last day, last week. Money flow is increasing. So now we jump back in. If this is what we are looking at as altcoin investors, we definitely need to understand that this is where we are. What does that actually mean? Because when you are here and you're talking about a possible breakout, then you are literally talking about how high you can go. So when we are breaking through this range, we are talking about a move to the upside. How many of you will join that party? Because people do deny the fact that you are breaking through a critical level when you're actually doing that. Historically, that's how it has played out. You need to keep an eye on the resistance when you're breaking through, because this time around, when you're breaking that range, what you are looking at is this range. Great. So you have massive opportunity to break through this and say you lost some. Great. But now you are making back 10 times that if you are positioned well enough in the market. And then you come look at XRP, ask that question like, okay, I do see these as resistance and we are being resisted in this line. And if you are going to see how the price is impacted, you do have to understand short-term scenarios does play in. And if you're looking at correlated assets, it does show you a lot of upside, right? You're looking at one pattern where your measured move is like this, which is huge to see. Then you take this one, keep it at the top, and you're like, okay, that's like the optimum target, right? If you are a super optimistic guy, you're now looking at that. Otherwise, you take it from here, pull it all the way up and say, okay, this is my target. I'm conservative. But even at that point, you are literally looking at how the price is going to do great movement. Now, you come back here, look at Ether. If Ether has this move pending, which it is doing right now, so if you observe how Ether is breaking through, this does make sense, because when you zoom in, you are asking that question, okay, can Ether really break through this range? Because when it do that one, it's going back to test the all-time highs. So we are going to go into the live chart. This is Ether, and on a monthly, it is really interesting to actually observe Ether has put in this range. Now, dropping that range here is really important, because when you take that and note that it put in one and then the next one as a higher low on a monthly, signaling that it is about to take off. That's interesting. Now, you can literally go in a different time zone and you're like, okay, this is ether and it's breaking through the moving average, the resistance. So something is happening. Now that plays out in the altcoin market because the big cap coins, they are literally pushing this one and saying you have a massive opportunity in my opinion here, and you can really enter into positions if you really want to make profit. And you're now, this is altcoins. You have 20,000 coins. You need to make your decision which assets you are going to enter. For me, personally, I like this asset. But right now, do you think you're going to get 1000x here? Maybe that's coming, but right now you may actually test this low. That is a possibility because you're not breaking the 50-day moving average. You're getting rejected, and that means you may come back to short-term or medium-term support. So this will be your short-term support. Price can slowly come back down. If you break that level along with the 20-day moving average, you're then going to drop further to 0.42. We've been talking about this range and the price is still there. So on a daily, 20-day moving average is pushing the price lower, acting as a resistance. So now you will be looking at the 50-day moving average as a support or the 200-day moving average. Now, as you step back, take that macro view, you are not that concerned because the price right now is trying to break through the 200-day moving average. And historically, for XRP, when you're breaking to the downside, you go lower. When you're breaking to the upside, you go higher. That's something interesting to note. If you kind of plot this here, you'll understand when you break this one to the upside, that's when you really get that massive price action. Because it's not only that, you're also below this range, which you are going to break with this one. So if you are like, using different indicators, you can come and put the Bollinger Bands and you see how the volatility is reducing here. Now that's on a weekly. So you go on a daily and you see price is getting congested. It kind of gets that price action when this is going to open. So it's here. Then when you open, you can go to the upside or downside. We don't want that downside price action, but the market can literally give you a test of the previous support if it is breaking through the 50-day moving average. That may not be the optimum scenario for a lot of us, but market can do that. Why is that a possibility in a market we are trying to trend higher, put in higher highs? One of the primary reasons for looking at all this and saying, okay, there is some concern in short term, even though we see a lot of money coming in, some of the assets breaking through, pivoting into a new trend, those assets which are running crazy now, they may just correct down, retest and bounce. But those assets which are already below a critical support are in danger. Now, why is that? Because when you look at this, it's 29th and 2nd of November, you are going to see how these guys are going to move the market. And right now, when we are looking at all this, it's like it is going to be really hard. Survey of economists is 75 basis point hike, then slowing. So I'm like, okay, that may not be really great for the markets if they are really going to do that. Because right now, if you are looking at different stuff, you would cleanly agree, like, yes, the market is having trouble just with the Fed rate hikes. And if they are going for another 75 basis point hike, that's literally going to push the dollar all the way back to the upside. Dollar is slowing down, but they can come in and say, no, we are not going to allow that. And then this will become a falling wedge, falling channel, which can really, act like a bull flag and go back up. But if they do a 50 or anything lower than that, this is going to be great. Dollar goes down, you see markets going back up. Yes, the way the stocks closed, S&P 500 closed the daily on a positive note, going above this trend, making a higher high. That does look good, but when you actually go on 3-day chart, you're like, okay, we still have room to this pattern, we can go test this one, but if we don't break that, it can be concerning, right? You can get rejected, come all the way back down here. That would hurt the market. But if the Fed happens to be doing 50 basis points. Now that's a speculation, but that can literally give you what you really want from the market. So understanding this asset, what it's doing, and where you're positioned kind of gives you the real ability to make a lot of profit, because it's not only one asset which is doing great. There is a lot of volatility in the market. It's not only green, it is also red. Some assets which moved up is now correcting back down. Watch for the supports, buy the dips would be a great thing to go, but not right now. You'll have to wait and see what the Fed comes after and what they executes. But then again, if you are confused about these and you're like, okay, I really want to know where these supports are, I really want to get the update of when this is breaking higher, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description. I'll say have some patience, enter early next month. Then you also get to see what the Fed does. And then if it's great, it's positive, don't miss out the chance inside this market where it's really going to take you through a big ride when it's bouncing off through these supports. Macro supports is something which you should not miss. Understand this can be a parabolic run up. You are trying to bounce off a long-term trend line, which we have seen in different assets, which is respecting that line from here. Everywhere you look at the market, it does actually show you, it is showing you massive opportunity. Whether we as investors who learn on a regular basis say, we understand that's a support, buying at support makes sense, buying low and selling high is what we need to do when we are looking to make money. Great. So that's it for today, guys. If you like the video, please do hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.